your travels, being around, you just get worn out of being around so much negativity in the world and stuff. And so, like, I really want to try to create something that was really positive based and, weren't jealous and envious and those type of things. And when you get around that, you become a product of your environment. You always do. And so, when you can be around people that, aren't like that and have attacked a different mindset, you just thrive, and so to see that like really come to fruition where people are genuinely like that and they're cheering for each other, they don't even know each other. I mean, man, that's cool. And we need that. There's just way too much negativity out there. So, nobody wants to see anybody be successful as if somebody else's success is their failure. Changing that mentality that's what we're trying to do.
That's something I need to think about with this career field too. It's like I was talking to Giuseppe about my kind of next excursion because I've been doing this for a while. I'm 9 to 7 every day, and I enjoy it. It's done great things for me, but like you said, I need to not be afraid to help other people in the same field. Yeah, because it's not going to take away what I've done.
Exactly.
It's just kind of hard to get over that threshold.
It is.
You're kind of giving away a piece of yourself that you worked really hard for, and trusting somebody with it, or multiple people with it, which is not easy. But
no,
something I definitely need to do.
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that. It's hard to do.
It is, especially when you build something. When you build your own legacy, it's hard to trust that to other people, but that's ultimately how that becomes the bigger legacy.
Exactly.
So,
was there something you did before?
Yeah,
doing all of this?
I worked in the school system for a long time, so I was a coach for about 25 years, and so I have a lot of experience, like coaching and working with people. I worked at Boys Town. I worked at a detention center in Michigan. So I've a lot of experience working with at-risk youth, and that's just always appealed to me.
Yeah.
And I've also started a real estate investment company too. So I understand business and just always wanted. I didn't come from a lot, and so that's always scared me. I didn't want to have that be my life or my kids' life.
Exactly.
So you have to work hard. And that's one thing I've just never been afraid of doing was working hard. That's one variable in life you can control is, I can outwork anybody. And so I'll do that.
Was there a point in time in the middle of all that where the risk was going to be pretty high?
Yeah, I think that's the scary part. Yes. Especially when you're doing your own thing, the risk is always there. Yeah, it's always, you can work for somebody and there's not a lot of risk there, but there's also not a lot of reward there either.
Yeah.
So you either gotta, go out there and you gotta jump off that high dive, or you're just gonna, sit in the kids pool all your life. And I just don't want to be in the kids pool all my life.
No, and I think that's where a lot of people quit. They're like, well, sure, I can probably double or triple, whether it be income or business or whatever, but it comes at the risk of not having this comfortable safe haven anymore.
Right.
Do I really want to do that? No.
Yeah.
And then they quit, and that's where things can really change.
Exactly.
And it's definitely scary. I mean,
no question.
I was going to college, and I wanted to be a school counselor, like a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
I had gone through a lot of anxiety and kind of like dissociative episodes and stuff, and it was scary. So when I got through all of that and I learned how to kind of maneuver that, I really wanted to give back to kids my age at the time, or even younger, that were going to go through the same thing. But school was just, I just wasn't disciplined enough to do really well in school. And I had been cutting hair still. I started cutting hair in high school. So I was like, well, do I quit where I'm at in college right now and risk that and freaking cut people's hair, you know? It's like, that just doesn't sound like something you would drop out of school to do.
Right.
But I had a gut feeling and prayed about it a little bit, you know, talked to my family about it, and they said, well, if you're good at it, then give it a shot. Worst case scenario, you go back to school.
Right.
So I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, that's a great story. And that's where the success is in that fear, you know, like fear stops so many people from being what they're supposed to be. And, you know, I deal with that every day with people. Is, well, I'm just scared. Yeah, success is scary, you know, but average is not, but it's average for a reason.
Yes. Exactly. And a lot of the scary parts too, especially when you become very successful, is you're being judged every day. I mean, you got somebody, whether it's positively or negatively.
Right.
Some people struggle taking compliments.
Yeah.
Others struggle taking criticism, and then you got those guys that can't take either.
Right.
Or people, I should say, you know? So that's something that I had trouble with in the beginning too, was like, oh, I loved the positive comments, you know? I loved the positive reaction a guy had walking out of the chair and said he got compliments, but then, you know, the other ones coming up, well, I don't know, he didn't really do this good, or
right.
his conversation wasn't what I was hoping for, whatever it could be, you know, and I didn't know how to navigate it. So I had to take a lot of time to sit and really think about how I was going to navigate the negative part of it.
Right.
And try not to dish it back out, you know, because that's kind of that's a natural human reaction, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, oh yeah, well, what about when he does this?
Yeah,
or, you know, it's really hard to not get offended and dish it back. So that's a big thing to work on too.
Yeah. Well, and that comes down to, we always have a choice, right? I mean, that's the great thing about life, is in every instance you get to choose, and you know, you can choose one path or the other path, and just, do you choose the correct one in each situation? And that's the hard part, because it's sometimes that easy path is the path that feels good, and you know, but that other path, that untraveled path, that path that's rocky, that's the path you got to go down, because that's where the good stuff is, and that's what you're talking about, you know.
And shoot, at the end of the day, it's, as human beings, we got to take what we learn and improve, even if it's ourselves or just people around us.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, and you're always kind of, you know, you're proving to yourself, you know, like, that's the only person that's really, you got to care about is, you know, can I look in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, yeah, you know, I brought it today, or be honest enough to be like, man, I was weak today. Yeah. You know, I'm going to get it tomorrow. Yeah. And having those real conversations, that's how growth happens.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to have that conversation with yourself. Some people can't face themselves.
Right.
Or you're afraid to say, well, I did fail today.
Yep.
And it happens a lot.
Yeah, the time when I started growing the most in my life was, I spend about 5 days a year, and I go away, and I spend that entire time like evaluating the year, and all I do is analyze my failures, you know, like, where was I, you know, what could I have been better in every aspect of my life, you know, take notes, make plans, make goals. And like, that's when I really started to level up, was when I started to, you know, you don't need to spend a lot of time in analyzing what you're good at. You're good at that stuff. Yeah. You need to spend time in like, where am I failing? What am I not good at? And then that's when you really start to see success happen, when you can be secure enough in who you are as a man, woman, whatever, to sit in your failures for a while and learn from them.
So do you feel like isolation makes that easier?
Yeah. Just for that split time, because that's a hard place to be in.
It is.
If you're really gonna be truthful and real with yourself.
Yeah. It's essentially a negative space, right?
Right.
It's not a positive space. You don't want too many people around that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you care about them. So
yeah,
it's good to have good people around you. I mean,
yeah,
I don't preach that enough with people. It's like, I was blessed to have good parents, and I'm pretty close to my brother, and that, without that, I don't know if there's certain thresholds that I pass. You know, it's different. It's a different type of support.
Yep.
My brother was my first client, and Dude, he had some gnarly haircuts starting out. And
Right,
he
yeah.
had the old school, like, hard part, comb over fade.
Yeah.
He was like me. We got beards pretty early on in life and facial hair. So I had to learn how to make that look good. But he's stuck with me. He still comes in all the time. He just moved home. So
Yeah.
he comes in all the time. And we've switched his haircut a couple times. But I'm like, dude, imagine if you would not have let me just figure it out.
Right.
You know, and then my dad let me figure out a lot of things with his hair. And that taught me how to work with kind of thinning hair.
Yeah. Right.
Different colors. So yeah, that support circle, that's huge, man.
Oh, it's so big.
And I'm sure you had somebody that was your first client and you were like, okay, trial and error.
Yeah.
This worked for you. This diet worked. This type of workout was perfect for you.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's always those people, you know, your circle, those things, those people that just have molded you into who you are. And, you know, those people, they change over the years too, which is kind of cool, you know. You're always meeting people that impact you. And, you know, I've in my travels been around some really great people and some really bad people. And, you know, I'm thankful for both of those things because you learn just as much from the people that you don't really like being around or maybe not the greatest of people because, you know, you learn ways not to be too. So it's great to have those experiences and learn from them.
Definitely. It's hard to find a way to navigate the people you don't want to be around too.
Yeah. Because in some cases you don't really have a choice. And that's what, like, you know, I'm thankful that I'm at a point in my life now where, you know, I have a choice. I get to decide. But, you know, for a lot of my life, I didn't get to decide. Yeah. He was there. But, you know, and that's where teaching those and giving people those tools to deal with those situations, make choices, you know, decide what's going to affect you, what's not. That's a good stuff.
Yeah. So do you have interests aside from obviously fitness and stuff like that?
I do. Right now, like, honestly, like, I'm so blessed that you don't get a chance to do much, right? Last night, my wife was like, I want to go out to eat so we went out to eat with some people, and, like, it's gotten so big that, you know, we were gone for, I don't know, 3 hours, but that puts me behind so much, you know, that so it's right now, it's like, you know, it's blown up so big that it's all hours, all the time, you know, minutes matter type of thing right now. But we've got some big goals, you know, we're just getting ready to launch it nationally, and, you know, we got YouTube or podcast getting ready to launch. And so we just got a lot of big stuff happening. So it just requires a big effort right now. And, you know, at some point that will go down a little bit, you know, maybe, but that also is what fuels me. Yeah. So, you know, I don't mind it, but you just at the point, you know, whenever you get opportunity to build something special, like, sometimes you just can't, like, the list of stuff to be done, it's just doesn't, like, there's not an end to it, you know?
Yeah. That makes you start thinking about everybody you kind of look up to, and like, I wonder if they were feeling what I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Because there is no sit down, relax. There is no, well, I'd enjoy that today.
Yeah. Like, oh, today's a off day. Like, there's just not such a thing.
No.
You know?
I used to tell people, well, I work Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 7. And then I wake up and my wife's like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I got to guys today. And, like, today it's with the Sunday. She's like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something today.
Yep.
And you realize it's a 7-day.
Yeah. It's yep.
But that's why you got to love it. Because if you don't,
oh, I would say. And that's what, like, a lot of people, it's funny because, you know, people always say, you know, oh, you eat your own business, you work for yourself, you know, what a great thing. You can make your own hours and you can do whatever. It's like, man, you have no idea what that is. It's easy to go to work for somebody.
Yeah. Plus, there is no saying no.
No,
I mean,
right? Yeah,
it's hard to say no.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's almost instilled in you to not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The background I come from too, man. I mean, my dad that's all he does. My uncles, that's all they've ever done. when I was a kid, you know, the brief time that I would see my dad, he'd be working on a car, or he'd be at my athletics, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I grew up loving sports and cars, I think, for that reason. And that's crazy. Now I understand. You know, he's busy, and it's not gonna stop.
And it's neat that you get to go kind of full circle with that now.
Yeah.
Because I imagine at some point you have a little bit of, I don't know, you probably felt a certain kind of way about that, you know, but then now you get that respect when you're in it, you know, like, man, he's out here doing something, you know, and that's a cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole side of my family has really inspired me. I mean, all my family inspires me, but you know, him and his brothers, they immigrated here. They had no really map to tell them how we're gonna do it, you know.
Right.
They didn't speak English. It was pretty scary.
That's awesome.
My dad ended up doing the railroad for a long time. He became a citizen before I was born, and dude was like on a roll up until I got to like 15. Wow. He was finally set, you know. He was like, okay, this is my job. This is what I do. On the side, I can do this, and then I got my kids.
Right.
And so it took me a while to figure that out. I mean, I saw it every day, but you know, as a kid and as a teenager, I was kind of a little turd as a teenager anyways, but you kind of see that and you're like, yeah, that's something that I got to do now, and I got to figure out how to navigate things the same way he did.
Right.
And the plan is to do it better than he did, because otherwise he didn't teach you. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's been a cool life, man.
Yeah, that's a great story.
It's got its ups and downs, but it's there.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. So what's your goal? Like, do you have like kind of a long-term, like, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do type of thing?
Well, as much as I love cutting hair, I don't want to be this 70-year-old barber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't. I would rather be the, I don't know, the teacher, I guess, earlier, because as much as I respect the guys that have cut hair until the day they die, I don't think they did it willingly, and if they did, I don't think it felt very good.
Right.
So my main goal is to be able to help the people that want to do what I'm doing, and hopefully they get the same blessings out of it that I do. But as I was telling you earlier, you know, I think it's gonna require me to pass that threshold of, when am I going to be ready to hand that out? You know, is that going to slow me down? Then it's, like you said, it's kind of scary because I don't really know where to go from there.
Right.
So
what it looks like,
Yeah, but the ultimate goal would be to have this entire realm of barbering or cutting hair in general be like, I don't want to say a side job, but like just a part of my life, not all of my life.
Yeah.
I'm very much so into cars. I'm very much so into fitness. I'm into sports. You know, I don't know where my life could take me, but I wouldn't mind trying to sell cars. You know, I wouldn't mind being a coach somewhere. My kids are growing up, and eventually they'll be 14, 15, and I can pass on my baseball, basketball knowledge. And so I guess right now the ultimate goal would be to find a way to start that process.
I see.
Because I'm 31, so by the time I'm 50, man, I don't want to be doing 97, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be a blessing if I still can, if my body allows me to.
Right.
But I have a goal to be able to pass it on, but still make a living.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that looks like quite yet.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm hoping for. I don't want to work so hard forever. That's one thing my dad did that I learned from that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
He's still doing it today. He can't sit down. You know, and I want to be able to sit down.
Yeah.
I want to be able to enjoy things and have a beer and a water and watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know? And not be sitting there terrified like, oh man, I ain't worked today.
Right. Yeah.
That means no money.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I like nice things.
Yeah.
So I cannot be lazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to answer your question, ultimately, that's the goal, is to be able to enjoy this from afar and still have a successful life.
Yeah. I like that.
There's a kid out there that's probably like I was, that's pretty naive, and saw a couple barber videos on YouTube and was like, I can do this, do this, I can do that. Which, I mean, you can, but he'll need the same guidance that I was hoping for.
Yeah.
I've worked with a couple people that have cut hair, and I learned just by watching them. I learned how to do things, or how to talk about things, or how to maneuver things. I didn't get the opportunity to work with them for long, but in that short period of time, there's certain things you pick up on. So I want to be able to provide more than that. The big thing is I'm just not ready today.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of The Shop.
Yeah.
LeBron James's
Yes, I love
podcast.
that. Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it is so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
I always thought too, it's like, of course, us as regular people, you know, it's very enjoyable to watch celebrities talk about things we may not have never known about them. But why isn't it as cool for a guy like you or I or somebody else to do the same thing? Our lives are just as interesting. We just obviously aren't hitting the same levels that they've been hitting.
Well, but that's also like, that stuff's like big right now. That's why I'm really excited for all the stuff that we've got going, and how big our stuff seems to be hitting, because people relate to it. It's real people doing real things. You know, like, you know, it's real hard for us to relate to LeBron James. You know, I mean, like, you don't live that life. You know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, they say some awesome stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
But you know, like, hearing somebody that's actually, like, you know, lived a similar life, tell how they made it, like, that stuff is relatable. Like, okay, well, I can, you know, I grew up that same way. You know, I'm from that same type of stuff. I can do that. And so that's why I think, you know, for us too, that's why our stuff is been going so good, is people can relate to it.
It's a lot more relatable.
So I think that space is a big space right now.
I agree. I think it'd be really cool to thrive off of that. I used to watch that to kind of motivate myself. Just because, you know, we get down, and I think the Kyrie Irving episode was my favorite.
Yeah.
That dude's so passionate, man. Say what you will about the guy, but he's so passionate. The way he explained the canvas and the ball, you could tell he's spent his life doing something he really cares about.
Right, exactly.
So I guess at the end of the day, that's kind of what I want. I want to be able to get to that point. With this, it's been really cool because I was always the quiet kid. All my friends were pretty nuts, and they were loud and class clowns. Even my brother, and I was quiet. I was honoring my own way, but I was quiet. So this job was not something I ever would have imagined. I talk all day.
Yeah.
I go home and my social media is so this is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's crazy because I've had to do that, and I've had to, like, you know, I've spoke at a lot of places, a lot of events, and people are like, oh, it's stupid, it's so natural for you. You can do it. You can do it on camera. You can do this. But, like, at my heart, I'm an introvert. Yeah. And I don't really like to necessarily be around people. I don't really like it, but it's just been a necessity my whole life.
So are you like me, where when you're done recording, you're like,
That's it.
oh man, did I say something?
Yeah.
You think that was good? Yeah. You're constantly.
Well, except for, like, I've had to do it so much that it's kind of second nature now.
Okay.
But when I'm done, I'm excited to be done.
Yeah.
No.
It feels good. It's a weight lifted.
Yeah. And there is a lot of stress because I've spoken some big arenas before with a lot of people, and you know, stress leading up to that, and making sure your content is good, and you know, doing that type of stuff is it just that weighs on you, especially if you know you're naturally kind of an introvert. Yeah. You know, you're beating yourself up to go do that moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when it's over, it's just the ultimate crash.
Was there one specific, I guess I would say, event you spoke at that like was very difficult for you to speak at?
Anytime that I have to speak about like my past, it gets me a little bit, you know.
the emotional side comes out.
Yeah, because I'm emotional. I always try to preach like, don't be afraid of your emotions, like show your emotions and stuff. And so I live that too. And I think especially as men, one of the things that we do terrible, and I did for so many years, was, you hide your emotions because it's our defense mechanism. And rather than dealing with them, and that's why, men are committing suicide at such high rates, because they're just not dealing with their stuff. And so, when you can kind of teach them that it's okay to, find other men that you feel comfortable with, that you can, like, man, we go through stuff too. It doesn't make you a weak man. I mean, I consider myself about as strong a man as you're gonna find, but I can still be emotional. I can still, talk and conversate about, whatever. And so, that stuff gets me a little bit though.
Yeah.
Especially when you've had a, tough or traumatic childhood or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I think it's important to learn early on that it's not a bad thing to cry as a man.
Exactly.
You're gonna make mistakes, man. I've made my fair share, and you can't sit there and bottle it, because eventually it'll come out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. Yeah, it's like with my kids, my son's 4, doing his tantrum thing. And when he's emotional, he's emotional.
Right.
And I told my wife, we're gonna let him cry it out. We're gonna let him get angry, as long as he's not hurting anybody or himself. Like, let him figure it out, because if we keep putting these barriers around him, what's he gonna do when he's 30?
Exactly. Well, you look at like society and stuff that's happening right now, and like one thing that just like it breaks my heart, and I mean I've seen it in my own family and other things like that are close to me, where like men have no problems putting their hands on women, and like we wonder why our society is all jacked up, like our values and treating our women like queens and holding ourselves as kings, like. You're going to preach it, but you live it, and like, so why is that stuff happening? And it's like, well, we bottling all this stuff up and, going through it, taking all this stress, you gotta have broad shoulders as a man, and if you can't talk about it, you can't deal with it, then that kind of stuff's going to happen. And it's just, it can't.
And that's a scary thing. That's one of the major things they always say with child development too, is like how someone's treating your mom. Or, that's the nurturing side of you is your mother, right? So when that's being mistreated, what are you learning? And it's not even by choice, that's just something that the human brain sees and picks up and learns, and it creates habits, and that's unfortunate. But there needs to be a way for people to break those habits, regardless of how bad it was at some point in your life. You can re-teach the brain and the body to react a little bit better and kind of handle things differently.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're right, man. Society has taught us to look the other way or mind our business, when sometimes we got to step in and take the initiative.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's crazy how movies portray a lot of it.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of thrown at us.
Yeah, it's like you try to desensitize people to like this kind of stuff's okay, and it's just like, man, no, it's not. Like stand up, be a man, be a strong woman, like that stuff's important.
Exactly. You're always gonna get that. Well, I don't have somebody to teach me that. Well, the beautiful thing is we've got access to good people in this world, whether it be via the internet or whatever.
Yep.
It's out there.
Yeah.
You gotta find it.
And, you can always make an excuse or you can make a way. And I never had that example, but I was able to, decide to do a certain way. So you got, and that's where it comes down to those choices again. You get a choice,
So what is the goal for 2026?
We got some big goals. We're going to, we're launching all that stuff. We're going to do some national stuff. We also want to do the programs that we're going to have access to for corporations to help change the culture of companies through fitness, through our app that just getting ready to launch. That it helps build community and create that strength amongst each other rather than that competition amongst each other.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's going to be revolutionary when we do that and start offering that availability to schools, to corporations, to, you know, anybody that's looking to, you know, increase their production, their their community inside of whatever, you know, business or, you know, company that they have. And so it's just something that isn't being done, and it's and it works because we see it work right now with, you know, we have so many people that we're able to have a lot of data, which is great because, you know, data tells a story. So we can see success rates, we can see what works, what doesn't, and then we can also see when you have several people in one environment, you know, what does that do to the environment? Well, just like we talked before, you know, you become a product of your environment. So if you can get people in an environment all chasing greatness, well, greatness just happens, you know, in all areas. So if you've got people that are excited to do good things, they're just going to be better employees. They're going to be better, you know, fathers, better mothers, better husbands. I mean, it just, the way it goes, better wives. So it's, you know, being able to provide this program that's been developed to people, to let it be just not just on a small scale, but a really large scale.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. You've got the major goal that a lot of people are afraid of, which is, I'm not just going to change the community. Like, I want to change as much of the world as I possibly can.
Yeah, and that's what, like, that's the initial goal when it first was started was, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to change the world. And so, you know, that's a big goal, but, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to think small? Well, we just don't really do that. You know, we're going to think huge. And so we're attacking that. And, you know, I mean, it was cool because I met with somebody yesterday, and they're like, well, it just feels like our community is changing because of this. And, you know, that was like probably one of the best, you know, compliments that I've received yet, was that, you know, sometimes our community can be kind of negative.
Yeah.
And, you know, for somebody to be like, man, it just feels like there's a lot of positive stuff with people being encouraging and stuff in different areas. Like, I was like, man, okay, then, you know, maybe we're not off. If we can make a difference in this community, then we move to the next community and the next community and the next community. And before you know it, then we're there.
It feels like if you can do that here, you can do it anywhere.
Right.
Because like you said, it can be very new.
This is a tough spot. So if you can make it happen here, you can do it. And like anytime I go places and talk to people about it and what's going on and kind of show them, like they immediately become on fire for that. You know, like people want it. They want to be involved. They want to help. They want to do stuff. And so, you know, it's there. It's just, it's getting the right people now, which is the scary part for me, because when people come to you and they basically put their lives in your hands to make a difference, then having the right people in those spots, that becomes very important. Because you can't, this isn't a job. This is a passion, and there's really no hours. There's no, you know, what time do I punch in? Like, you just always are on, you know, and that's a rare breed right now.
Oh yeah.
And so hunting people that meet that criteria and want something different for their life and want to make an impact on people's lives, that's a challenge, but we're finding them.
I think going back to what you said too, with being willing to say, well, the goal is to change the world, right? Mm-hmm. I always thought with this lifestyle or this career field, I'm like, how am I going to do that? Cutting somebody's hair, you know? I mean, I might be able to help individuals.
Yeah.
But then you look at Vic Blintz. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard of Vic Blintz.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when he first came out, I can't sit here and say that I admired the dude. I was pretty judgmental. Sure, I'm like, man, he sounds kind of corny.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, don't we all know that, you know?
Right.
But then, dude, he's changing people's lives right in front of you. It doesn't matter. I was talking to him, like, it's working. Uh-huh. And I am 100% certain that he's the reason why kids are cutting hair now.
Yeah.
They want to cut in their basement. They want to cut at school. He created the social media side of it, and the dude was cutting the president's hair. Like, that is huge. He was cutting Tom Brady's hair, and even though, you know, you shouldn't hold the celebrity higher than a regular client, that's an obvious stepping stone.
Yeah,
It's an obvious threshold to break.
You're going to. Yeah.
So it's cool. I think that's taught me to try and not be so judgmental off just what I see, and try to take the time to understand things.
Yeah.
Because that dude, man, and he's great at what he does.
Right.
He really is. I mean, he doesn't really show the haircut at the end. He shows the reaction of the guy.
Yeah. Right.
So we don't get a close-up look of how good the cut was, but I mean, I've seen positive reactions. I know they love their haircut.
Yeah.
And that's the goal anyways, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, everything's like, we all have a vehicle that we're going to use, and what you choose to do with that vehicle is your impact.
Yeah.
I chose to use coaching. Your gift is you cut people's hair. It's like it doesn't matter the vehicle. It's just what you do with the vehicle.
Exactly.
And that's that's the thing. And so too many people get caught up on, well, I just this or I just that. No, that's just the vehicle God gave you to use. Use that vehicle and make an impact. Through that. You know what I mean? So it's cool stuff. Like, can you do that?
I'm gonna rinse your hair out.
Okay.
And we'll come back and check it out.
Okay.
And then if there's things you want to tweak, we can tweak them. So if you want to go to that middle chair down that way,
This one. Okay.
we'll wash it, and I'll have you check it all out.
Sounds good.
Don't be afraid to be picky, man. That's it's part of the job. Trust me.
It's gonna be tough because I haven't not just been me doing it in the mirror in the bathroom for a long time. It's starting to look pretty good.
It takes me, I'd say, 2 haircuts to really get to know somebody's head and hair.
Sure. Yeah.
And preference and style, and it all goes into it. There's certain hairstyles you need to be doing, and
it's funny because part of my, when I was in college, I had a bunch of little hustles that helped me to make money, and one of them was I cut people's hair.
Really?
And because nobody wants to pay for anything in college.
No.
So, you charge people, $5-10, and they were happy to do it. And I played football, and so I, cut all the football team's hair. And for me, back then that was a lot of money, and it was just just something I just taught myself out of necessity, really. And so it's always just been something I've just done, did my kids and stuff,
I cut my own hair still too.
Do you?
Yeah, I was going to a couple people while I started, and my first barber was Steve, and I'd never had a fade before, so that was a whole experience.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I had never seen my hair look like that. I think that's kind of what made me fall in love with it too, was seeing how people felt leaving there, and kind of how I started feeling leaving, barbershops, and how I looked in the mirror when I got in the car or whatever it may be. But it's a cool thing. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't popular so much before as it is now. It's kind of like tattooing, It's just a cool job.
Yeah.
It's a really cool job, and the benefits of it you don't really see until you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Your wife is my youngest pediatrician.
Yes, that's what she said. She was like, "Oh, they're great. You're gonna love it."
She's pretty cool, man. You can tell she's done it for a long time.
Yeah, she's good at what she does.
My kids are very kind of like I was. They're introverted. They're very skeptical, which I guess all kids are when they meet somebody.
Right.
And they both. I mean, when they met her, they were comfortable. Yeah. They walked over to her. I'm like,
yeah.
Something that happened.
Yeah, this community's kind of lucky to have her. I think she's good at what she does, and we just kind of wanted to be here rather than go somewhere else.
Go ahead and relax.
So
yeah,
it's just one of those things,
If you need to wipe any extra,
okay.
And then we'll toss it up here.
Okay.
So yeah, when I told my wife I was cutting hair today, she's like, "Oh, that's so cool." She's like, "I've never met him. I just know."
Yeah.
I just know her, and I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be cool to see."
Yeah.
How to put those two together,
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we think?
That's a lot different.
Is it different?
Yeah. It's way better.
Yeah, like I said, don't be afraid to nitpick. We can go higher on some pieces. We can blend something differently somewhere, go shorter on the beard, whatever you want to do. I just kind of did a general fade and beard trim, and then you kind of decide what you want, shorter, longer, higher. Dude, I waxed someone's nose the other day. Oh, it was so funny. I haven't done that since hair school.
Really?
And
Yeah.
I was like, we're being a baby. And I did my own like 2 days ago. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I get mine done too. I'm having hair removal deal done, and it's
Oh, yeah?
that's gonna be nice, but it's not.
I have a, if you want, this is how I cut my hair. So you're more than welcome to look in there.
Oh yeah.
You'll be able to see all angles. And then I have this light for it. It's kind of dark.
Oh, that's good.
It's kind of dark in here, you know? So here, I'll plug this in for you too.
You're okay. Gosh, that back looks so much better.
There you go, I'll plug this in for you. Might give you a little bit better look. Yeah, dude, I'd have a bowl cut if it wasn't for that mirror.
Yeah.
There was a guy I went to hair school with. He cuts his hair with a handheld, and he'll just like sit there and switch hands. And I'm like, dude, why do you?
Yeah.
That's so hard. And he's good at it. I couldn't do it, man. It's difficult.
Yeah. No, this looks great.
Everything look even? Yeah.
It's good.
I really didn't take a whole lot of length off the middle because
Yeah,
I'm
that's good.
thinking
Yeah.
we can kind of work with that.
Yeah. See how that kind of. That's what I want you to kind of feel what that looks like as it grows a little bit and see, you know.
That's the hardest part about cutting your own hair too.
Yeah.
You can't just leave it because now you got to blend all these long hairs.
Right.
That's how I struggle with it all the time.
Yeah.
I ask the girls, I'm like, hey, cut this piece real
Yeah.
quick. I think it's uneven, and they'll pull it and they'll show me, and I'm like, yikes, yeah, please cut
Yeah,
that piece.
that's what you end up like, you know, like just one day be like, oh, you're getting something, you know, because that's what looks so much better.
I'm glad.
It's awesome.
And
Man.
we'll just keep messing with it.
Yeah.
We'll mess with the beard a little too. I went with the 1.5.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
It grows fairly fast. Like what do you recommend? Like how often? Because especially with a lot of stuff going on right now, like I need it to stay pretty clean.
How often do you cut your own hair?
Every 2 weeks usually.
Does it bug you a lot by then? No?
Like
I'd
2
say
weeks
2 weeks is about right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, 2 weeks is about right, especially with your beard. A beard grows a lot in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's different than your hair. But yeah, if what we can do is start trying 2 weeks, and if your beard's really getting on your nerves, we can do that a little sooner.
Yeah.
Or just do a beard trim between haircuts.
Yeah.
You know? I'm here in the mornings, and like you said, Wednesdays work for you, so
Yeah, we can do something like that.
Figure
Okay.
that out.
Yeah, because I don't want to make it more difficult on you, but I want to try to see if I can fit it in.
Yeah.
You know.
But it makes a big difference, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
you're teaching self-confidence, you know?
Yeah.
What better way to have that than have a nice haircut?
Right, yeah.
It completes your
Yeah, we're
outfit.
going to be doing a lot of stuff like video, TV stuff coming up, and a lot of appearance stuff. So I need it to be good.
Yeah.
You know, so
Oh, we'll
like
keep it
this
fresh.
is good.
Yeah, you know, I don't want people to have to wear hats all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that actually, you know, hinders your hair
Right.
process. It makes things worse. And I grew up playing baseball. I know how that is. Like the corners of the hat just kill you.
Yeah.
So it's one thing I'd like to. We could keep that up on. with
Yeah.
you, is just keep it fresh all the time. That way you don't have to wear a hat. And
Yeah.
it just looks good.
It's good. I love that. Yeah. So I'll just like whatever your schedule is, we'll just put it on. Because what works best for me, because my schedule is just insane, is if like I can just like put it down and it's just
It's always there.
it's always there.
What I can do too is what I do for a lot of people is recurring. So like every Wednesday, 10 a.m. You're every other Wednesday starting January, whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change until you change it.
That'd be great. That's what would be
Okay.
the best for me if we could do something like that.
And with that one, I'm not sure about the email side of it, but I know when you're recurring, it doesn't text you reminders. So I can do the email. It might text you a reminder.
And I don't even need reminders. When I put it in,
It'll just go.
it's just in. Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, no
keep my
problem.
schedule pretty tight. So
Let's see when we can get you started.
okay.